Owner is going to prison. Find out why.
Plus, construction is beginning in North Haven that will be causing road closures.
And police are investigating Hamden High School. All that and more coming up right now on the Q30 Newscast. Good evening and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Carrie Golden.
And I'm Kay Pattyfoot. One local business owner is headed to prison. Brooke Riley has more.
The owner of Hamden and Quinnipiac hotspot, Ray and Mike's Dairy and Deli, located right here at 3030 Whitney Avenue, was sentenced to prison today for tax evasion. 53-year-old Raymond George was sentenced by U.S. District Judge Stephen R. Underhill to 9 months of prison, followed by a year of supervised release and a fine of $5,000. In 2012 and 2013, George failed to deposit all cash receipts of the business into his business bank account and used some of the cash to fill the ATM located inside the deli. George also failed to report the cash as income and did not pay a total of $220,000 in taxes during those 2 years.
I'll say it's a dang dude right there, because that's a lot of money down the drain for a lot of sandwiches right there. Think of it that way.
George also used Ray and Mike's business account to pay personal expenses and put money into his own personal account without reporting any of this as an income. Ray and Mike's customers have different opinions on the business now.
So I don't know much about who he is. I know it's a great deli, but yeah, he knew it was gonna happen to him someday, I guess you could say.
I don't really care he did the tax evasion, as long as the sandwiches are still good. That's why I'll still go there.
George pleaded guilty to 1 count of tax evasion back in May of 2019 and has already paid the IRS $480,000 in back taxes, interest, and penalties. He is released on a $100,000 bond and is required to be in prison on March 17, 2020. As for the future of Ray and Mike's, we'll see what George decides to do. Prosecutors suggested that he hires new managers to oversee the business while he is away. In Hamden, Brooke Riley, Q30 News.
Quinnipiac is giving its students the opportunity to save money through crowdfunding. Luca Triant has the story.
With the fall semester well underway, students at Quinnipiac are already hard at work meeting homework deadlines, studying for exams, and writing essays. For the Quinnipiac administration, a new semester comes new opportunities. University officials have released a new initiative called crowdfunding, which aims to give students a platform to crowdfund.
A lot of people are pretty familiar with the idea of crowdfunding. There's a lot of websites out there like Kickstarter and GoFundMe. So crowdfunding at Quinnipiac, we're drawing from that same idea, with the main difference being that it's Quinnipiac University related initiatives and there's no fees associated with it. Basically every dollar is going straight to the project.
In an email sent to students on Monday, the university describes how the initiative is meant to give students a way to fundraise for projects relating to Quinnipiac. A few pilot projects were made to test out the ability of the crowdfunding website, with examples including creating new scholarships, giving a new home for student veterans, and growing a radio soundtrack.
I feel maybe like a biology class. I'm a bio major now, so I feel like research opportunities and things like that could be benefited from crowdfunding.
It could really help, especially like upperclassmen, help pay for things like their capstone project, or if they have to do a senior thesis, it would really help them out.
The crowdfunding page can be found at Quinnipiac's alumni website. Projects have already been posted on the site, shedding light on some of what can get done through the fundraising process.
There's nothing that wouldn't make an inventive crowdfunding project.
For Q30 News, I'm Luca Triant.
The university announced that budget cuts are being made. They're affecting several departments due to a decrease in the total number of students. Administrators are looking to identify and redirect areas that are no longer relevant to the university. According to Vice President of Public Relations John Morgan, several initiatives and investments will still take place. These include opening a new College of Arts and Sciences Career Center, 10 club sports, major improvements to facilities, renovations to the Rocky Top Student Center and North Haven facilities, 3 refurbished residence halls, and an upgrade in furniture in university-owned houses. In addition, the university also plans to put money towards academic areas and a comprehensive wellness center. Quinnipiac has now been named a great college to work for, according to a survey by the Chronicle of Higher Education. This survey is out of 236 colleges and universities. It is the largest workplace study conducted in higher education. Quinnipiac received the top honors for the following categories: collaborative governance, compensation and benefits, confidence in senior leadership, job satisfaction, respect and appreciation, supervisor and department chair relationship, teaching environment, and tenure clarity and the process. This is the first time Quinnipiac is being recognized in both collaborative governance and senior leadership.
The Student Government Association hosted sweet treats in their suite this afternoon to invite students in to discuss initiatives. Matt Bruin has more.
This afternoon, the Student Government Association held an event called Sweet Treats in the Student Government Suite in order to start more conversation between Quinnipiac students and student government members. At today's event, the student government served students with ice cream and churros in hopes to get more students talking about changes they want to see at Quinnipiac. After talking to the Vice President of SGA along with the Vice President of Public Relations, here's what they had to say.
So Sweet Treats is essentially a series that I'm hoping to pilot to kind of break down the whole boundary of students not feeling comfortable to enter the student government suite when essentially that is its purpose.
Student government members also emphasized the importance for students to reach out to them in person or through social media. They say that reaching out is the first and most important step in changing things on campus.
Essentially, our goal this year as an executive board and as SGA is to make sure that we're being as transparent as we possibly can with the student body.
The student government also hopes to use this event to make the environment more welcoming by providing students with an open door and especially free food.
So essentially what we're doing here is like enticing students to come into the suite and to talk to us and kind of give us their ideas and like what they want to see done at Quinnipiac and what we can do to help them.
People should feel comfortable coming in here and kind of voicing their complaints about the student experience here. And essentially it's just to provide an incentive for students to want to come in and then hopefully to, kind of break that boundary to have them in a lot more often.
If the event is a success, the student government plans on holding more events just like these. Reporting from the Student Government Suite, Matthew Bruin, Q30 News.
This week is Multicultural Welcome Week. On Monday, the Gender Sexuality Alliance and the Asian Student Alliance hosted Cupcakes and Care. Students got to decorate cupcakes, paint, make goodie bags, and win door prizes. On Friday, multiple multicultural organizations will host a barbecue on the quad with different cultural foods, games, and inflatables. Religious Life is partnering with the Muslim Life at Yale to better Islamic education. Omar Bajwa, director of Muslim Life at Yale, said, quote, "We want to keep this program as an Islam 101 course, and it will be purely based on engaging QU students on what Islam is and what it is not. We cordially invite everyone to attend," end quote. Information fairs will still be going on Thursday and Friday for short-term study abroad trips. If anyone is interested in a faculty-led course for a Global Solidarity program, stop by the fair to get more information and learn about the application process.
About faculty-led courses is that you do have the expertise and the guidance of your faculty member leading you through this experience.
Applications are due this Friday. After the break, road closures are happening in North Haven. How will this affect students?
And a healthcare simulation is open on the North Haven campus.
Well, let's take a quick look at the weather coming up ahead. Today was a beautiful day with a high of 65 and a low of 44. There were some clouds in the sky, however, those clouds are going to disappear as we move ahead into the next few days. Tomorrow, Thursday, with a high of 70, and then Friday with a high of 79. Now, the real question is, are the temperatures going to continue to increase? Well, stay tuned to find out.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
This past week, I had the opportunity to speak with some professors on campus about the work they do outside of the classroom. Quinnipiac professors do more than just teach at this campus. Some of them attend different academic conferences, conduct their own research studies, and some of them even have their own books published. This week, I had the opportunity to sit down with Katie Place, an associate professor for School of Communications.
Real drive is, I think, a lot of companies and individuals, for that matter, assume that social media and digital media is a complete catch-all. That, oh, we just tweet something out and we can distribute the message to everyone. But of course, that's not the case. So organizations need to be very savvy about how they research all publics. Of course, today there still remains a digital divide, and some publics can't access that.
And Dr. Kalila Brown-Dean, also an associate professor for the College of Arts and Sciences.
And I wanted to write a book that would help people understand where we are in this country right now, but really how we got here.
Both are professors who teach throughout the week, but outside the classroom, they are living a double life.
Our students need to know that their professors have insight, have real-world practical experience.
And real-world practical experience is just what they have. Katie Place just published her study titled Exploring Digital, Social, and Mobile Dialogic Engagement with Low-Income Publics in the latest issue of the Public Relations Journal. And Dr. Kalila Brown-Dean's book titled Identity Politics in the United States was published earlier this month. Always get to know your professor inside and outside of the classroom to understand the different opportunities that might be exposed to you. I'm Kate Pattyfoot, Q30 News.
This week, the labs in North Haven are open for Simulation Week. The goal is to spread awareness about the importance of simulation to healthcare professionals. During these simulations, students will work with several mannequins that can perform realistic functions, including a 25-week preterm mannequin, which is the world's most advanced pediatric simulator. The remaining days of open lab simulations will be tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. and Friday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. The week of Relay, which is this week leading up to Relay for Life, is taking place this week. Tomorrow will be the YI Relay Day, and Thursday and Friday will be Registration Push Day. Relay for Life is a global event that raises money for the American Cancer Society to support cancer research. Participants at Quinnipiac will be walking around the quad. Later in the evening, there will be a luminaria lighting ceremony to honor those who are fighting, lost, or overcame their battles with cancer. Relay for Life will be Sunday on the quad from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you would like to register or donate, visit acsevents.org.
2 weeks ago marked the anniversary of the passing of a Quinnipiac student, Anthony Massaro. The Massaro Prizes are written submissions on any idea, issue, or situation. The submissions must be 2 pages maximum, and the first place winner can win a $200 grand prize. The meaning behind the Massaro Prizes come from the way Massaro carried himself around campus. Now, the deadline for the submissions is Wednesday, October 2nd. Yesterday, the Consignment Originals, which is located in Hamden, sold career-ready clothing at discounted prices for students in the CCE Rotunda. Students received an email about this pop-up shop. It went from 11 in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Police are advising people of road closures in North Haven this weekend. This is due to the Amtrak Railroad construction that is taking place between Sackett Point Road and Universal Drive. The road will be closed this Saturday, the 21st, from 8 p.m. until noon on Sunday. If you plan on making a Target run or heading over that way, please suggest alternate routes along Broadway and Elm Street. Police are investigating Hamden High School after a report of anti-Semitic writing and swastikas in the school bathroom. Police are working with the school to identify the students who wrote this. At this time, there is no present threat to the school or students. Hamden High School student ambassadors are now working with the Anti-Defamation League to spread awareness and prevent something like this from happening again. With a year almost until the presidential election, politics are heating up. Skylar Haynes has the latest in politics. Sky?
Thanks, Carrie and Kay. There is always a lot going on up on Capitol Hill, and tonight is no exception. Representative Ayanna Pressley filed a resolution Tuesday that calls for the House Judiciary Committee to launch impeachment proceedings against Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. This comes after a New York Times article detailed new allegations of sexual misconduct against Kavanaugh, adding to the many accounts that emerged last year. The Times did later report that the alleged victim, quote, does not remember the incident, end quote. And something else that's back in the news, the Mueller report. As of yesterday, former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski testified before the House Judiciary Committee on the findings. The White House, ahead of his appearance, stated that he could only speak to material in the report and no other interactions with the president. Chairman Jerry Nadler vocally disagreed with his refusal to answer certain questions, saying executive privilege does not extend to Lewandowski since he was never employed in the executive branch. Lewandowski stated numerously that he was, quote, not asked to do anything illegal, end quote. And finally, President Trump sought to gain Latino voters in a campaign swing through New Mexico Tuesday. But while his strategy may have been to appeal to the demographic, his rhetoric invoked criticism. While introducing Hispanic Advisory Council member Steve Cortez, the president asked, quote, who do you like more, the country or Hispanics, end quote. The GOP has remained mostly silent regarding this incident, but many politicians from both parties are expressing their frustration at the divisions being drawn between nationality and ethnicity. In a recent ABC News and Washington Post poll, President Trump's approval rating among Hispanics stood at 25%. This is following an approximately 13% increase in Hispanic voter turnout this midterm election, according to Pew Research Center. All eyes will be on voter approval polls, including many coming out of Quinnipiac University's polling center as the next 2020 debate approaches on October 15th. That's all I have for this week's political update. Back to you guys at the desk.
Sky, when we come back, Maggie Smith is here to tell us what you can expect in this week's weather.
Plus, Olivia Schuler joins us for a national news update as a historic reporter has passed away and more. We'll be right back.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
With fall quickly approaching, does that mean the colder temperatures are here to stay?
Maggie Smith is here with this week's weather update. Maggie, what kind of weather can we expect this week?
Guys, let's take a look at the current temperatures around the Connecticut area. We have temperatures ranging from 50 to 55 degrees around the area. We have 52 in Norwich. As we move more south, we have 55 in New London, 55 in New Haven. Moving back north to the west, we have 54 in Danbury, Torrington with 53, and 55 in Hartford. Now, as we move to the 7-day outlook, you'll notice that things are going to be heating up. As I said before, today was a beautiful day with a high of 65. It was cloudy, but like I said, those clouds are going to be moving away and we will have straight sunshine for this weekend. We'll be having a high of 70 for Thursday, a high of 79 for Friday, and a high of 84 for Saturday, which will be the highest temperature of the week. Now, Sleeping Giant State Park has just reopened, so this might be a great weekend to get that hike in. Now, as we move to the beginning of next week, we have Sunday with 83, Monday with 82. The clouds will start coming back in, and then unfortunately on Tuesday, you can expect some rain with a high of 76. Now, that's all I have for the weather. Tossing it back to Carrie and Kay at the desk.
Thanks, Maggie. Models are making a statement on the runway in New York and a sad loss in the world of journalism. Olivia Schuler has this week's national news update. Olivia?
Thank you, Carrie and Kay. We start this week's national news out of New York City. At a show during New York Fashion Week, the American brand Bestroy had models wear school shooting theme hoodies. The brand's Spring-Summer 2020 collection was designed by Brick Owens and Dewey Coutures. The hoodies read Stoneman Douglas, Sandy Hook, Virginia Tech, and Columbine. After the show, photos were posted on the brand's Instagram page and Owens' personal account. Quickly after, thousands of people commented. One comment read, quote, "As a victim of Columbine, I am appalled. This is disgusting. You can draw awareness another way, but you do not dare make money off of our tragedy," end quote. The brand has not yet commented on the controversial sweatshirts. A Florida man was charged yesterday in connection to his wife and 4 children's murder. The children's ages range from 1 to 4 years old. Casey Jones and her family and her 4 children were last seen 6 weeks ago in Ocala, Florida. Jones' husband, Michael Wayne Jones Jr., crashed his van in Brantley County, 150 miles north of the family's home in Florida. At the scene of the crash, police smelled an odor. That's when Jones told police, quote, "You may want to put me in handcuffs," end quote. Jones then led police to Charlton County, where the remains of his 4 children were found. Here is what Sheriff Bills had to say.
As a father, as a parent, it breaks my heart. As a sheriff, it angers me to no end. Something to this degree, how a human being could even do this.
Jones is now being charged with second-degree murder. And Kookie Roberts, a journalist and political commentator for NPR, PBS, and ABC News, died yesterday. She was 75. In a statement from Roberts' family to ABC News, the cause of Roberts' death was complications from breast cancer. Roberts had a long and successful career, earning 3 Emmy Awards, was inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame in 2000, and was named a living legend by the Library of Congress in 2008. Former President Barack Obama called her, quote, "a constant over 40 years of shifting media landscape and changing the world," end quote. That's all for this week's national news. Back to Kay and Carrie at the desk.
Thanks, Olivia. And when we come back from the soccer field to the field hockey field, Ryan Flaherty has the inside scoop of Quinnipiac sports.
Plus, the honors program is giving back to elementary school students. We'll be right back.
There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Thanks for sticking with us. Well, Kay, pretty soon the weather's going to get cooler, but the fall sports are just heating up.
That's right, Carrie. Ryan Flaherty is here with this week's sports updates. Ryan?
Thanks, guys. It was a busy week for Quinnipiac sports, so let's get right into it. Starting on the pitch, the men's soccer team got off to a quick start against Albany as Romain Danilou scored his second goal of the season in just the 7th minute. Unfortunately for the Bobcats, Hugo Guerra tied things up just 1 minute later, and the rest of the game was a defensive battle as neither team was able to score, and the game ended in a 1-1 draw. On to women's soccer now as Quinnipiac was home on Sunday, taking on the Dartmouth Big Green. And here we go. Zoe Bukak gets it to Izzy Glennon, and Izzy Glennon pots that one past Olivia Myszewski. Bobcats now down 1-0. Here come the Big Green again. It's Izzy Glennon, but Olivia Myszewski right there makes a beautiful save. Still 1-0. Myszewski with a costly error though. Here comes Allie Wynn-Stanley. Beats all Quinnipiac defenders, and she is going to put the insurance goal in, down 2-0. Quinnipiac would try to come back, but the Bobcats are going to fall to the Big Green by a score of 2-0. From the pitch to the hardwood now as the volleyball team had a tough weekend at the Ellis Rowland Memorial Tournament in New York. Losing in straight sets to Colgate on Friday and Rutgers on Saturday, Kyle Robinson's squad needed to beat the University of New Hampshire to leave New York with a win. While they were able to win a set, they were not able to win the match as they fell 3-1. They will open up conference play on the road at Siena this weekend. The field hockey team played 2 games this week. In the first game, they took on in-state rival Sacred Heart. And here we go. Quinnipiac 1-0 there. Bianca Strube with a very effective penalty stroke. And now it became a battle of goalies. Sacred Heart's Haley Powers with a great save. Now Quinnipiac's own Hada Bjerman-Ratjen making a couple of great saves. Here's another one here. Bjerman-Ratjen, very impressive as a freshman. And then Ava Veldhorst, another freshman, potting her first collegiate goal, gets the win for the Bobcats. Lastly, the rugby team's struggles continued as they were dismantled by Army West Point in a 49-0 shutout on the road. They fall to 0-2 in the NIRA and are back in action this Saturday when they take on Notre Dame of Ohio. Well, that's all we have for sports tonight. Back to Kay and Carrie at the desk.
Quinnipiac's honors programs went into the local schools of Hamden, and they tutored some of the kids in the elementary schools.
I did it last year in a kindergarten classroom, and it was one of the highlights of my week. I loved coming into the classroom every day. When the kids see you, their face lights up. They love being able to work with us, and it's just a really rewarding experience.
That is all the time that we have left on the Q30 Newscast tonight. Be sure to follow us on social media at Q30 News.
From everyone behind the scenes, our producers, and my co-anchor Kay Pattyfoot, I'm Carrie Golden. Good night, Bobcats.